Hi everyone, it's Jen here from Tarot Spirit doing your weekly reading. Sorry I'm a little late this week. I was away this weekend. So today I'm using the Quest Tarot, which I've had for a long time and I really don't read with it very often at all. But anyway, I thought I would read with it today. So you'll see it's kind of a cool deck. It has keywords on it, a little bit like the Crowley deck. And some of the cards are renamed and whatnot. So at the bottom of the deck we have the Son of Stones, which is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knights represent change in the suit that they're in. So Pentacles is the material world, our money, our job, our home, tangible things. And the Pentacles are a very grounded card. They're represented by Earth, and they move slowly and methodically. They don't thrive on instant gratification, and so for some people they can be perceived as dull, but it's the slow and steady wins the race mentality that really allow them to look very far in advance and start planning and implementing things that could take years to come to fruition. But they know if they just start putting $5 away a month, or just start walking 15 minutes a day and slowly increasing that they will save money in the long run. They will lose weight and be healthier in the long run. So they're very good at starting and staying with it. So this is the underlying energy this week. It would be, sometimes it never seems like it's a good time to, there's rarely a perfect time for things. There just kind of isn't. And if you're always waiting for the stars to align and everything just to feel perfect and to be absolutely just right, you may never start. You may never do it. It always feels like, oh, I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too whatever. But if it's something that's truly a priority, like, making sure you have some money in the bank in case there's an emergency, or your health, or finding a job that you're happy in, well, if you need schooling for it, start figuring out how to save for it, how to make it happen. Time's going to pass anyway, and 3 years may seem a long way away, but it'll be here before you know it. So just take the first step this week. It doesn't have to be something huge. It can be the simplest thing, like go to the bank and set up a savings account and put whatever the minimum is to open it up. Just start something. And if you have started some things, just keep maintaining. Don't necessarily psych yourself out or stress yourself out or burn out because you try to do too much too fast. Just keep plugging away and know that in the long run, these steps that you're taking will pay off. And at the same time, anything you may have been working on for quite some time, you may start finally seeing some results. So that's pretty exciting. The first card we have is the Two of Swords. And in this deck, oh, excuse me, I just had a yawn come over me. It's entitled Peace. It's the key word for it is peace, which is pretty interesting because it can be a truce, but often it can be read as indecision as well. So this is saying that it's a two card, so dual, for two different things coming together and coming to some sort of understanding, which allows for sort of a truce, for peace, for a pause, hopefully permanently, but in any sort of, in some sort of conflict that's been happening. This could be an internal thing, but it also could be an external thing. So it's interesting though, I'm already sort of looking ahead because we have the Judgment card, the Rebirth card, the major arcana So maybe this peace is going to come about by an external force or an epiphany from one of the parties that all of a sudden they see things from a different point of view, which will enable them this different perspective to if there had been a line drawn in the sand, for example, to see that, oh, wait a minute, maybe we went about this wrong. I went about this wrong, and I'm um, just really seeing things in a different way, and it's allowing me to move forward. And Sibo said, it's so cool. There's like fire coming over here and water. So passion and emotions. Oh, and there's a baby. Cute. Kind of interesting cards. And if you're really into symbology, I mean, they have all the astrologic signs and all sorts of symbolism all throughout. It would be, there are even crystals on it and all sorts of stuff. So these are pretty interesting cards if you really like to dig deep and learn about all the different symbolism. I find it a little overwhelming. I'd have to start slowly and eventually build on the different aspects, but it's pretty cool. So this card really is about when it happens, you have this rebirth, or someone in your environment has this epiphany. They never live the same way ever again. It could be, an example using low-hanging fruit. If someone is an alcoholic and all of a sudden they've hit rock bottom, but in hitting rock bottom, like something shifts in their brain and they just are like, I will never drink again. And you hear that happening. People are like, and they still will go to get support and everything through things like AA or whatever. However, they're never going to drink again. Like something something just happens and they just are changed forever. I'm a little bit leery of that. I'm not just going to all of a sudden someone who's been abusive or difficult or just challenging, all of a sudden being like, oh, I get it, you're totally right, I'm going to change. Like, I would have to see some action. I wouldn't be able to just believe them if there's a history. So if this is you having the epiphany and the come to Jesus moment, not to mean it religiously, but just a life-changing, oh my God, realization, people may not, just be prepared that you may have to prove yourself. And probably if you're having this epiphany, you'll be able to be like, you know what, I totally understand, because the way I've historically behaved, I can understand why you wouldn't trust me. That, I really do get it now, and I'm going to change for the better. So just be aware that could happen. Then we have the Sun card. I mean, for some of you, and obviously this is just going to be a smaller percentage though, but for some of you, there is going to be some sort of unbelievable change in either yourself or someone in your environment that has been causing a lot of difficulty. There's going to be, it's like peace, rebirth, and just an entire change in the way someone's living their life. It's pretty amazing. So, and it may have been a really long time in coming with that Knight of Pentacles at the bottom. So the Sun card's a beautiful card. It's vitality. It's children. So perhaps if some, it could just be like for some of you with kids, it's all of a sudden like they get their act together and like get a real job and start supporting themselves. And it's like they something shifts, and they've gone from being sort of the dependent kid to the self-sustaining adult. And it's like they're thriving. Someone's all of a sudden thriving, and really, really something just really has come together this week, that will literally have a long-standing sustainable change on them or yourself for the rest of your life. It's beautiful. So much detail in these cards, huh? What is it? The sun. It's life. Life. Nice. So they're babies in these pictures. There's literally a baby in a womb here, and life. So some of you may be having a baby. So if anyone's due date is coming up in the next month or two, you may have your baby sooner if it's not right around now, but that's okay. I mean, all these cards are beautiful and positive. Some of you may get pregnant, so if that's not something you're down with, just be mindful of that. But it's like there's a huge sigh, a huge release, a huge like the stress is just going to dissipate, even if there's still sort of this cautious, like, is this real? Is this really happening? Can I count on this? Is this just all talk, no action? There's still sort of all of a sudden there's this hope. And I do think this will be a sustained change for people. But it could be something that's going to just take a while to really prove that it's different and that you're going the distance and everything is going to be better and stay that way. That's a pretty beautiful, really healing reading. So any conflicts you've had, like with family or someone close that was really upsetting because they were so close, and I think you may have a really surprising change of heart come about, and things will. It's a turning point this week. So, all right, I'm gonna stop talking. I still have that sale up on my website, 30-minute reading for $30. I'll leave it up for another week, and I'll see you at the next reading. Thanks.